Raw. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Let me get this out of the way. And I see Costin here. Awesome. Nice to see you. I hope you put your big boy pants on. And when I mean big boy pants, I mean put your nappies on. Because this market is bloody. And a lot of people are going to shit their pants. I'm not joking. So, this is the kind of a thing that I just want to state because I've been saying it over and over again. Day in, day out, month in, month out, week in, week out, you name it. Years now I've been saying the same thing. But obviously a lot of you guys are very new to the channel. So for you, I think days and days is more relevant, right? I've been constantly going on about, guys, market does not last forever. Nothing lasts forever. So there is a time for everything, right? And you do know recently I've mentioned about how, SHIB, I had my first target. And then I've got my second target, and we were close. My second target was 0.6. We went to 5949, which is not bad, but that's about it. Do you know what I mean? Short term, I don't expect anything bigger than this. So what's going to happen if you haven't taken your initial out? Well, this thing's going to tank. You think it's going to last forever? Come on, let's be real with ourselves. Nothing lasts forever. If you look at this whole market and look how bloody it's been, right? It's ridiculous. Of course, you see one or two coins, like for example here, I'll give you a good example. You see 1inch did okay today, survived. It's got 52%, great. Aave done very good. Matic done very good. SHIB done very good. That's about it. You can go down the list. Not many other coins did anything. Do you know what I mean? When you look at them, they really didn't do much. So what you're going to see is this cycle where something pumps. Once there's enough profits, it's going to dump. It's going to dump hard. So question is, are you ready for it? Do you know what I mean? And when it does, you'll be literally shitting your pants. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. That's the truth, hardcore fact, that everybody will have a hard time accepting the fact that they just lost money. And you are going to lose a lot of money, a lot of money. So this is why I've been constantly going on about one specific fact. So let's just leave SHIB here for now. Move over to BTC. And I mentioned this very, very well to everybody. I'm sure I made it very clear. I'm going to take it on a weekly just to show you something. Right? Take these drawings off. I've mentioned how I used to own a whole bunch of shitcoins. I see SM here. Also, my brother. Nice to see you, my bro. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Now, by the way, guys, SM is one of our first members to join the YouTube Premium. And you can see he's still here. Awesome. Nice to see you, my brother. So, I've been mentioning how I've had shitcoins from here. I've had shitcoins from down here. And these shitcoins, all I've been doing is as we progress up, I've been taking my initials out. Why? Because we do see massive dumps, especially on the peak of the market. We see massive dumps. So people who bought SHIB coin around here, you've done great. Do you know what I mean? Or any other coin. I'm not going to specifically pick on one, guys. It's going to be wrong for me to do that. But you've got currently 13,000, right? They're all going to dump. It's a hard fact. Please accept this fact. It's a hard fact. The entire market is going to dump. And it's going to dump hard, fast. Remember, I mentioned last week as well on a video, I said, when do you find out that we're now officially in a bear market? Well, according to this weekly, you find out when we come back down to the 42k on a BTC. Is that what you're going to wait for? According to any coin, you can randomly pick a coin. You can name a coin if you want. Any coin, right? DOT, let's do DOT. When do you find out we're not in a bull run anymore? When we come here. $12. So it's a hard fact, please do accept, right, that when the market dumps, it dumps. And for you to find out that are we still in a run or not is going to be when we go to the bottom of the channel, when we reverse the trend on a higher time frame. I mean, I wouldn't say weekly, that's a little bit too extreme, but I would definitely say on a daily. When this trend reverses and it goes below this, that's when you know you're not in a bull trend. So it's a wise thing to do, right? Take your initial out, that's all. If you can protect your initial investment, you're the boss. You are the absolute boss, because end of the day, right, your initials out, you are in zero investment or as low as possible, and you're great. Now the good news. Did we break trend? Yes, temporarily we did break trend, but am I worried or anything like this? Not entirely. Why? Because you see this greater trend line here, we're still okay. You see this downward trend line here, we didn't come back. In fact, I don't even need this anymore because we don't really have a downward trend line anymore, so I can take this off. But we have this upward channel here, and we are doing awesome. We are absolutely super solid. When would I worry? The fact is, I would worry when we come back here, this 56k level to 55, 56k level. I'll worry around this region. In fact, I could even do a little bit better and say I would personally worry if we broke this particular zone here, right? So if I just leave this here, if we break this particular neckline, I would definitely worry. I see free energy here. Awesome, my brother, nice to see you. So that's when I would worry. But so far, we seem to be protecting this micro trend line here, which is a micro trend line. Seems to be protecting. We did break this trend, but these are not as relevant as these longer time trend lines. So we're quite cool. And also these levels here, this line here, particularly at the $52,000 level. This is when we would worry if we break this. That means complete trend reversal, guys, we're going down. So at least I've given you something much better and higher than what the chart would give you. Because remember, the chart, if you flip this, the chart doesn't say anything here. The chart says this trend is reversed when you come back here. This is what the chart is telling you. So remember, bottom of the channel, that's what we're looking at. When we come and do a lower low than this, we are screwed. But on a daily, I can tell you, if we come and we go below this level here, right, and end up coming here. So before we've come here, I've already given you a signal to say, guys, the market's over. And I've mentioned this, as soon as we hit this 67k level, I mentioned this as, guys, this doesn't mean anything. Market could easily go down from here as well. This could be the end. We don't know. So the wisest thing to do is, if you have altcoins that you've made significant gains, take your initial out. I've been saying it for months now. You know, next month on the 14th, so I think we're about, what, 20 days away, is 1 year anniversary of this channel. 14th of November is the 1 year anniversary of this channel. And I don't think there's a lot of videos where I've constantly mentioned, guys, take your initial out, take your initial out, take your initial out. Because remember, I'm not here for the hype. I'm not here for the FUD, the news, the noise, the gas. I don't care. None of that put me here. I'm here because of public demand from people, friends and family that I know who are invested in crypto, and who just asked me the most honest question. Sham, we want to do this, but we don't want to lose money. How do we go about? And I've explained to them, take your initial out. Take your initial out. You make less money, but you're going to play safer, and you're always going to be stronger, and you're going to have more to show than everybody else. That's the winning strategy. Obviously, you do you, I do me. That's a different story, okay? But this is what's happening so far. We can see, right, how the market is reacting, how everything is reacting. And listen, nobody knows how we're going to have high leverage or low leverage or whatever. And leverage doesn't really make much of a difference, because end of the day, what was the leverage? Let's have a look and see. So if we start looking at the leverage market, how much money got wrecked? Well, 904 million, which is close to a billion. We'll give it a billion. I would say $1 billion got wrecked. where they've been wrecked, we can see. That's fine. We don't need any of that. We can see that the total of 621 million was wrecked in majority of the markets. Great. That's all fine by us. But the fact that we have in the chart, is this. This is the fact. The fact is, if I go on a daily, the fact is that we had a total dump from here to here of almost 10%. That's a fact. That's telling us that we went from $2.64 trillion to almost close to 2.4 trillion. So $1 billion worth of liquidation wiped out almost 243, according to this, $billion. So you see what I mean? So sometimes even those things are not really relevant. Just got to look at the market for what it is. Yes, we blame the over leveraged traders for extremely doing high leverage trades and wiping everybody, creating a liquidation event. Fine. Hodlers are not affected, only the stupid traders are. But regardless, we always have to take 2 steps back, take that FOMO out of our heads, take the greed out of our heads, and we're going to always stay safe. So I've mentioned, guys, none of this matters. BTC going to 58k doesn't matter. BTC going to 100k doesn't matter. What matters is you stay on the ground and you start taking your exit positions right now. Right, that's what matters. I see Tamil Gamer here. I see El Bubble here. Gamer says Kishu Inu. Bro, again, Tamil, I will mention the Kishu, that's not a problem, right? But what you have to understand is, regardless what dog coin it is, I don't think there's going to be another Doge or another Shiba. I think that was it. Believe me, because what you have to understand is Doge was that coin that entered the centralized exchanges, Robinhood, eToro, that was Doge. And then a competitor came along with a massive community, and that got also noticed by the centralized exchanges, and it also launched there. Okay, and now it's trying to get into Robinhood, and a lot of hype is around that. I don't think Kishu, Mishu, whatever you want to call it, any one of them will do it. You can call them whatever, right? No, because what it is, if you go to Robinhood and look at the stats, Robinhood is losing money because people are not trading Doge anymore. They're not interested in Doge anymore. People are dumping their Doge to go into SHIB. People are shorting their Doge to go into SHIB. When the hype dies out, people are also going to dump all of their SHIB, just the same way as anything else. So there could be promising coins out there, but the reality is these are just a little hype phase. Once the hype dies away, they're going to go everywhere. Yeah, we'll talk about other coins as well. Of course, listen, I like it, right? Tamil, I definitely like you bringing all these coins and everything, but sometimes you got to also just take 2 steps back. I mean, you bringing coins, great, buy. That's fine. You seem to be one of those guys who likes the hypes. I want to buy this, I want to buy that. You're going to make money in this, you're going to make money in that. Great. But when do you keep your money? What's enough for you? I think it's a question you need to ask yourself. What is enough for you? When are you going to cash out? Okay, so here I am. I'm a long-term hodler of many coins, right? Even if I took out the hodling portfolio and I said, okay, I entered around here. let's just take all of this drama out and say, I've entered here. I've climbed up the market all the way up to here right now. When do I need to start taking my profits out of my shitcoins? Well, I've already told you, I've taken majority of them up to here. Then it dumped, nothing I can do. And then the rest of them I started taking here. Never cut my losses, never did nothing. That's what I've been doing. I've been basically trying to cash out as much as possible so that I could be prepared for what's about to come later. All right. So end of the day, the strategy is not about how much money you're going to make. Listen, the sky's your limit. You're going to make a shit ton of money. The strategy is to protect your initial investment, whether it be $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. Can you protect that? That's the key. Because if you can't protect that, what were you in it for? Give money? So, let's go back to SHIB just for the sake of this, right? As a good example. The SHIB comes and SHIB does this, currently sitting at 5.6. Great. SHIB does everything as we expected SHIB to do. Is our expectation now higher or lower for it to go to other targets? And you remember yesterday I put a line there and I said it can even go up to there. But is our expectation becoming higher for it to go there? Am I going to FOMO more to go to this level? Or am I going to start thinking about taking certain things out? And remember, I've mentioned it on Discord. Everybody knows this. By the way, guys, you can join Discord. It's completely for free. We've got a community over there. We're trying to build a community there. And it's like where we can talk after the show as well. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It does help the channel. Smash that like button so we can get the message out there. Remember, this channel is not about BS. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to do any of those things. I'm here to tell you and remind you on a daily basis, guys, protect your initial investment. You want to trade. You want to be in this game. You want to have a bit of fun. Well, you're going to have all of those as long as you have your initial. The moment you lose your initial, your heart, your mind, everything will change. And then you'll be like, this ain't for me. And even if you did change your mind in the future and decide to come in, well, you're coming at a higher price. Is that what you want? So taking profits is a good thing. Remember this. There's no harm in taking profits. Now, for us, Bubble knows this. A few other people know this. We mentioned, like Bubble and me, I think we both had a little joke about this. We said around the 6 cent level, or not 6, but 60 level, we're going to take our initial out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all my initial around this particular level that I've targeted, this Fibonacci level. Once we hit that 6, that's what I'm doing. Most people I know are also taking it around that time. Okay, we've done our safety. We've done our safety around when we hit the 4, we took about 25% off the table. Right. Now we're going to take probably another 50% off the table and then continue with the rest. At least that way, zero investment. Yes, we're not going to make millions, but who cares? We're not in it for the millions. We're in it to make money as much as we can keep, not as much as we can see. Seeing your balance is one thing and keeping your balance is a whole different ballgame. So that's how we're going to play this game. And then obviously, whatever we have remaining, we can hodl this forever. It doesn't make any difference. So that's what we're doing. We're in it for the money. We're going to make the money. We're going to take the money. And that's how it's going to be. There was a brother yesterday. He mentioned, he's not on the chat today, but he mentioned yesterday, shall I buy some more Gala? And it's an awkward question because you're asking me whether you should buy or not. And my answer to him was, only invest what you can afford to lose. That's all I can say, right? Only invest whatever you are prepared to lose. And then obviously if he invested yesterday at the 0.9, well look, he would have been down like 20% or 25% today. So then if I said something, wouldn't it fall on me or be like a bad advice or something? But I can't say that. Because it was sitting here at the 0.8 all these days. You didn't decide to pick it up. But as soon as it went to 0.9, you're like, oh, shall I buy some more Gala? Seriously, guys? So leading on to this, let's just talk about how or what the strategy should be right now. So I've mentioned this on Discord as well. I said, guys, plenty of coins are going to be bleeding out. Market is having a liquidation event. Everything is bleeding. So if it is bleeding, if you are thinking of topping up coins, now would be a good opportunity for everybody to start topping up. That's only if you believe that we're still inside the market. Of course, I personally do. I believe we're still in a bull run. This is just a stupid correction, nothing too big, you know. It's okay. We could have seen bigger dumps, you know. If we look at this, this is nothing compared to some of the dumps we've had. This is only what, 5-6% dump compared to some of the dumps we've done. We usually can do 10-15-20% dumps on a good single day. Like for example, here we had a nice little dump. You can see we had a 20% dump. So compared to this is nothing. That's what I'm going to say. Just going to leave it there. Bubble says, I took 80% of my investment out from Shiba. And he says, shh, awesome, no worries. Tommy Gamer, yes, I saw Noya. Don't worry, wait for it, bro. Wait for it. It's coming. Patience, my brother. We don't want to just jump from coin to coins that you throw. I am going to talk about them, but also we have other facts on the chart. Here, we're trying to help everybody, please. So, patience. Free Energy says, Sham, Algo seems to be in a wipe-off accumulation stage. I just got some on the retracement hitting the CC Fibonacci. What do you think about Algo as a project and from technical level perspective? I see. First of all, Free Energy, where did you track your Wyckoff from? That's going to be my question. Where did you have your Wyckoff from? From the day Algo was created, or from 120 years ago when Wyckoff was created? That's, you know. And one other question, I mean, not one other, I'll just leave those two. I think those two are going to be very complicated for you to answer. Question number one is, when did you get your Wyckoff from? Algo beginning, or some random location on Algo that some idiot's throwing out there? Or did you get it from 120 years ago when the Wyckoff was created? That's all I'm going to ask you. Crypto didn't exist until 2009. The first ever charts didn't exist until 2010. And it was the only crypto there. Only Bitcoin was there. And then we have all these random things coming out. And then we have these massive YouTubers and other influencers coming out there and promoting their thing. Elliott wave theory, Wyckoff theory, this pattern, that pattern. Great. But from where? What's your time frame? Are you doing it on an hourly? Are you doing it on 4 hourly? Are you doing it on 12 hourly? Are you doing it on daily? Are you doing it on weekly, for fuck's sake? Are you doing it on a yearly? What are you doing it on? Where is your Wyckoff? Please give me a breakdown. So for that reason, I usually say, whenever I hear Wyckoff, I say fuck off to the Wyckoff. Not interested. Not interested. It's pure bullshit. There's no base. There's nothing there to tell us where it's being counted from. People are literally putting patterns on top of patterns, overlaying them and saying that's what it is. No. So far, the only patterns we've seen is we have a bull run every 4 years, and we also have a halvening every 4 years. Wow, that's a bloody coincidence. We have a halvening and then a bull run starts. A halvening and a bull run starts. Who has the halvening? Bitcoin has a halvening. And then we've recently had an idiot come along and say, Elliott wave. We're in an 11-year bull market. So we've never had any bear markets. Great. As far as we know, for the last 11 years, our supply has been reducing and our demand has been going up. I mean, did the idiot forget that? That we had 0 people invested in crypto, 0%, and now we're 5%. Didn't he understand that? So I don't want to come out rude. I don't want to sound rude or anything, but that's the truth. Now, when you're talking about technicals, Algo's a great project. Algo was a great project. They were trying to do all sorts of crazy stuff. In fact, Algo was very similar to what eGold is doing right now. But if you look at eGold and Algo, you can see Algo's been left behind. Does Algo have a chance? Possibly. Just like Phantom. Phantom was left behind. So until in the future, Algo comes out with some news, great advancements, some sort of a change on their ecosystem, great partnerships, who's going to buy Algo? Nobody. So the technologies are great. Trust me, there are hundreds of projects out there that are brilliant, but something else has replaced them because they spent too much time counting their pennies and their Ethereums and their BTCs that they've collected from their ICOs that they forget to go and market the damn thing. Whereas in other projects who are hungry to get out there, what they do, they go out there, they launch their project, they do the ICO, the IDO, they collect the Ethereum, and the first thing they do, they say 20% marketing. That's what they do. That's what a real project is supposed to do. Marketing, partnership, strategy, right? What did Algo do? Nothing. Technology is great. Trust me. From a technological perspective, it's great. But are you going to be working on the technology? Are you going to be using the technology? Or are you in it for the money? Do you know what I mean? So, free energy, think about those things that I've just put there for you. And hopefully you can answer here today, or you can answer on our Discord. Not a problem. Remember, this is a conversation. So I'm not having a go at you. I may sound like that, but the points I'm making here is whenever you see something, ask yourself these questions. When I'm doing something here, ask me a question, right? Let's get you a random chart. Here's a random chart. Actually, hold on. Let's do this one. Yeah, here's a good one. Delete this. Right, so I'm going to delete this chart. Here's a random chart. So I say, I see this distribution accumulation zone. Fine, no worries. I'm going to start drawing some lines. Bam. I'm going to start putting some random lines here. Bam. And then I'm going to put one here. Bam. And I see this right now is becoming a Wyckoff distribution pattern for me. So guys, remember, we have this accumulation phase. We have this distribution phase. We have this. Fine. But hold on. Did you just miss the fact that I've just done it on this area? What about all of this? So ask yourself that question. Say, hold on, this guy just did this here. Is this enough? Is this, because any pattern, a Wyckoff pattern is a continuation pattern. It always has a accumulation phase, a distribution phase, and there's another, I forgot the other phase, but it has 3 phases inside it. But your 3 phases have to be continuous, one after the other in routine. But you don't see that. If someone's just going to come here randomly and put it here, or maybe put it on an hourly chart and say, okay, guys, we've just seen this pattern forming here. Is it something you should just take on board and say, that's it? Or ask yourself, well, what about the data before this? Is this a continuation pattern? So when people talk about, like, for example, Elliott waves, we know what continuation patterns look like, right? So for example, currently the trend is down. So there's only one thing that could only happen on this chart. And the only one thing we can do is an ABC. So we can do A, go to the bottom here. This is A, B. And then the next thing we can do is C, because it's a downward trend. On a downward trend of an Elliott, you always get an A, B, C. This is good. This is good. On an upward momentum, you get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So let's have a look and see on this pattern, did we get it? So we can take it from the bottom and we can say we had 1, 2, maybe 3 here, 4, 5. We can use that. We can use the higher highs, the higher lows to give us the patterns. So that's what I'm seeing. That looks okay. And we can continue because we can see this is the bottom of the channel, and we can see we also have another A, we can say B, C. Fine. I hope this makes sense to you, when you're looking at patterns or anything like this. Patterns will continue. You can never have an ABC and then a 2, 3, 4. No, it will be an ABC. In fact, here, I think I got it wrong. So here it should be A, B, C. Right? But the point is it's a continuation pattern. The pattern will be constantly repeat itself, right? You're never going to have an imbalance. So if someone's putting a Wyckoff there, which was used on a handful of stocks 120 years ago on the New York Stock Exchange or something like this, great. That was in New York Stock Exchange back then. They had seasons. I'm sure if you're in a business or anything like this, you have seasons. I mean, for God's sake, people who study, you have university, right? Is it on 365 days? No. So when you go to your campus during the university season, right, or college school, the season time, all the schools, kids are out. When it's on holiday season, everyone's back home, no one in the schools. Similar way, everything has a season, and Wyckoff was based on seasons, and they just said, okay, we see this pattern forming where people buy at a specific time, people sell at a specific time, and people start accumulating at a specific time. Wow, genius. All I say is expect a dump after a pump. 50% corrections in Bitcoin is very normal. Simplified, right? I don't need to put a pattern on there or anything. I think my logo explains it all. There's a pump, there's a dump. There's a dump, there's a pump. Doesn't matter, it's a repeating cycle. Hamid's gonna break the internet, so let's give him Neuer. Hamid's gonna break the internet. Alright, Syntropy. This is Neuer. Let's go into daily. Yeah, Neuer looks good. Looks like it's just breaking out of his channel. In fact, it has broken out the first channel. It's about to break out the second channel. This is good data as well. But again, what do you want me to show here, bro? Let's talk about facts. Facts is very simple. Yes, Neuer's in a pattern. Neuer's going to go up. Neuer's going to do its thing as long as the market's still continuing. Okay. Now, if the market does not continue, and today is the end of the crypto bull run, what's Neuer gonna do? Anything amazing for me? No, it's just gonna take my money and sit there. Do I want to be a bag holder? It doesn't matter whether it's a 0 layer or 000 layer, bro. Right now, I told you this the other day as well. One of the biggest problems we have, and listen, I'm a BTC bull, and I'm telling you that one of the biggest problems we have in crypto is these two coins, BTC and Ethereum. Let me show you here. Look, let's get into this. The biggest problem we have is these two coins, these two numbers. The biggest problem you have is we have almost 65% in these two coins. Does that make any sense to you? That's 65% in these two coins, right? Out of 13,166. If these two go down, your Neuer, your website, nothing makes sense, bro. Right? So why should I even bother looking at the website? I mean, you want me to, okay, fine, I'll have a little look at it, but what difference does it make? Who cares if it's 0 layer? Wow. So what? Honestly, so what? Are you going to be using specifically Syntropy to do your stuff? It's like someone telling me, bro, HTTP. No, HTTPS. If you're going to be a part of the internet layer, we're going to use you anyway. It's like TPS, IP, TCP, whatever. That's what it's telling me. Establishing an open alternative data security for routing systems operating right on top of existing internet protocols. Great. So what? It's like telling me, guys, HTTPSS is the new thing. Great. Do I need to be concerned about it if you're building an internet layer? No. Why? Because I'm going to be using it anyway. So what does this, I mean, why am I going to pump my money into this? I'm telling you, I haven't bought any. I heard about it. I know about it. I haven't bought any, and I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've got, because I know I can exit what I've got faster than you can. I know I can exit all my shitcoins, whether it ends today or tomorrow, faster than you can, because I didn't I don't know what to call this. Like, I didn't fill my head with all these coins, or my wallets with all these coins. I didn't look at the fancy websites to excite me. None of this excites me. Rethinking the internet for everyone. Wow. So what? I hope this kind of makes sense. Listen, buying, selling, if you're in it for the money, do it for the money. Who cares? No one's stopping you, right? You're in it for the money, do it for the money. Yeah, that's the, most important thing. You're in it for the money. Great, be in it for the money. We see the patterns. We're going to break up, right? I see him here also, my brother. We're going to break out. We're going to follow the patterns. We're going to do our great stuff. This is still a bull market, according to me, right? And this is no financial advice to anybody, but I believe that we're still in a bull market. We're still holding strong. This was a correction, fine, but these dumps are expected. But looking and adding more and more positions, are you going to be able to sell them fast enough? And if you are entering these, what are your targets? 10% from here, 20%, 100%, 1,000,000%? What is going to be your target to get out? Have you asked yourself that? It's all great. Listen, I'm with you. Rethinking the internet, great. We've got so many brilliant minds rethinking the internet, because that's where we're going to be living very soon. It's all great. But other than that, what am I supposed to do with it? We have the www of the world, the great World Wide Web. We have all the protocols sitting there. We have plenty of security protocols, plenty of other protocols sitting there, right? We can use, like, for example, this is a Brave browser. If you look carefully, look, this is a Brave browser. I use this for my security. Great job. Great web browser built on Google. So Brave didn't even build it. Brave literally took the Google Chrome extension, stripped it off, put a few of their own bits and bobs on it to make it simple and easy for people to use. I'm using it every day without thinking twice, because it doesn't change anything. It's still Google for me. So I'm not using Google for my privacy reasons. I'm using Brave. It's fine. What difference does it make to you? So does it mean now I need to go and pump money into Brave network? For what? Unless I'm going to make money on it, I don't care. And I tell you, I did buy Brave. I bought Brave when it was pennies, and I sold Brave when it was like 50, 60 cents. I sold it. I didn't give a damn about it. I said, I don't care. I'm in it for the money. I made my money. I'm out. So why the excitement? Noia, or this or that, zero layer, this, that. No, it can't be zero layer. Let me state a simple fact for you on a zero layer. The internet is your zero layer. So anything built on top of the internet is not a zero layer. Let's get this fact straight. Bitcoin is not zero layer. Noia is not zero layer. Ethereum is not zero layer, because it needs the layer 0 to be worked on. When we're talking about cryptocurrency and zero layer, or even internet, I mean, what we use now is not even zero layer. It's probably layer 50. The zero layer of the internet was the intranet. Right? The layer 0 of the global World Wide Web is the dark web. We're only in the clear web, probably 10% of the entire web. That's what we're using. That's what your internet service providers and everybody came together, the council of whatever came together to say, give people access onto. We're only building on 10%. 90% is unknown. That's the real zero layer. You understand? Protocols that these companies are building on. This website wasn't launched on zero layer. So give me a zero layer, then tell me it's a zero layer. Zero layer would literally mean rebuilding the whole entire thing, reinventing the wheel. That's zero layer, my friend. Let's not, run from the fact. The fact is, the internet is multiple layers and layers, to the point where to your device is another layer, because your internet provider, for whatever device you're using, your service provider has a block. You have to pay them to enter. Guess what? They're also a layer. So the very website you're viewing from your device, you're going through another layer. Sorry, give me the zero layer again. Honestly. See, hear me, obviously. Listen, guys, again, I'm not having a go. I'm here for hard facts today. I'm going to shout and scream if I have to. I don't care. Why? Because there's a fact. Everyone seems to forget the fact. Fact is, you're in crypto. You're in it for the money. So stay there for the money. Layer 0 protocol for Web 3. Yeah, Web 3 is built on Web 2, and Web 2 was built on top of Web 1. Don't forget that. And Web 1 is built on Web 0. Don't forget that. Everyone's trying to promote this new narrative, Web 3, Web 3, Web 3. So what? What is Web 3? Can anybody explain to me what Web 3 is? Because if you can't, I can. Web 3 literally means you can now interact directly with the blockchain from a simple browser from Web 2. So Web 2 can now connect and interact directly without you having to use a blockchain specific browser. That's all it is. We see this narrative being sold over and over and over again. It just doesn't make any sense to me anymore. Guys, build it, just build it. Done, it's done. Because I'm going to have to access through this anyway. I mean, they talk about Web 3. Hold on. That's my MetaMask. That's Web 3. It's a Web 3 extension on the browser. So hold on. Isn't this zero layer? Because this has been around longer. And even this thing even decides to shake his head when I move my thing. So isn't this layer 0? Tell me you done something where I don't need this anymore. That's a new thing. Let's go back to the facts, guys. Let's go back to the facts. Total market cap needs to stay above this particular zone. This is my box, as you can see. So far, we're holding strong. Nothing too bad. Holding okay. So I'm okay with that. Not that concerned. I will be concerned when it comes back to this line. If it does, but I don't think it will. Today was supposed to be a great day, and as you know, guys, I've said to you many times, I don't have a crystal ball. So I did say Wednesday should be a good day, and Wednesday should have been a good day, but unfortunately for us, it's been a bloody day. So I can be wrong. I'm not the genius here. I can be wrong. I'm just a normal guy. I do charts. I read the charts. I do what the chart tells me. So far, everything the chart was suggesting was great, but the other data that we had, leverage markets, we knew it was going to wreck us. We've been mentioning it for the past few days, and eventually it did. When you stretch an elastic band so far, it's either going to rip or it's going to bounce back to where it was, and that's what it did. It just bounced back to where it was. Luckily for us, we're still holding the $2.48 trillion market. So we have had approximately $80 billion re-enter the market super fast. That's good for us. BTC dominance. Everyone's like, oh, dominance is too high, it's bad for the market. No, dominance is good. That's what's been keeping the market up. Let's not ignore the fact. The BTC dominance is telling us if we're still in a bull market or if we're not. And it gives the opportunity for everyone else to come back. Ethereum dominance going up. So what? These two are the most two dangerous coins in the whole crypto sphere right now because of this dominance. Because of the 65% dominance, these two are the most dangerous coins in the whole crypto sphere. Because coins can dump 100%, they don't impact anything. But when these two decide to take a turn, even have a fart, the whole market collapses. When BTC decides to burp, the whole market collapses. And people are so unaware of this one fact. The best coin, the number one coin in the world, is the most dangerous coin if you want to know your bull markets and your bear markets. It's the only one that could keep the market up or take the market down. How many times does it have to show you this fact? Whenever it goes down, the whole market goes bloody. Free energy. I did tell you about Algo, bro. Algo's a good project. Let me try and zoom back in. Algo itself is a good project. It's a very old project, right? It's a very old project. It should have been similar to what do you call this? Like eGold, right? But what I mentioned about Algo, right? Where they messed up, right? Because they came out very well. Hold on, let's have a look at this. Let's go here. So they came out very well. They had a lot of stuff going on, research, technology, the blockchain itself, right? Very, really cool, right? They worked with a few other bits and bobs, but end of the day, they just didn't promote it as much as they should, right? They didn't put enough money or make it easy for the developers to go into the system. Apart from a few basic protocols, they just didn't get the hype around them, right? Whereas when you compare something, and remember that any blockchain is a good blockchain. I've always said this before. I said, guys, there's a few types of coins you can never ever go wrong. Understand what I'm about to say? And I think this will answer the question for everybody for any coin you want to know about. Blockchain coins, always a great buy. Always a great buy to buy some and hold some blockchain coins, because you never know which one's going to pump. The other coins are always a great buy is exchange tokens. Centralized exchange tokens are always a great buy. You never lose money on those. Those ones are really, really cool. I mean, you lose money, but what I'm saying is they always go up. So if you find something for cheap, it's a bargain. Pick it up, hold on to it, watch what it does. Exchanges will manipulate the prices themselves. So exchange tokens are very good. Blockchain tokens are very good. Of course, blockchains, they have ICOs or whatever. A lot of them, they don't really go out there and do the marketing as many others do. They don't get into that attention span. So if Algo doesn't go out on Twitter and explode, like how did Shiba pump so much? Twitter. It was Twitter. It was all to do with Twitter. Why does BTC sentiment, when we calculate the sentiment, why do we look at Twitter? Because it's Twitter. So what I'm trying to say is marketing doesn't necessarily have to be paid. You can even do unpaid, free on Twitter. But you've got to get out there and do it. The community's just not been that big enough to do it. We have companies like Avalanche, which came out after Algorand, and pretty much, believe me, it's the same thing because the concept is the same thing. The only one that doesn't have a concept is Bitcoin. And I'm honest with you, Bitcoin doesn't have a concept. But they are all grown. I don't care about the TPS. Nobody cares about anything. As long as you're doing more than 7, you're doing all right. But again, the marketing, the hype, that's what Algo missed. I'm a fan of Algo. Trust me, I hold Algo from back in the days, right? But I haven't seen Algo do anything publicly. So what do you expect? You're not going to really do anything. You can call it whatever. This is the future of finance. Well, hold on. The future of finance is already being built 10,000 times on Ethereum. Please. When we're talking about this, 1,100, transactions per second. Well, Avalanche can do 50,000. They say they can do up to 100,000. We know Solana can do 50,000. We know, in fact, Solana was stress tested all the way up to like 250 or 300,000. Think about it. And I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm saying they are a blockchain who just missed that boat, missed that opportunity because they did not focus on marketing. So other projects newer than them, and necessarily they don't have to be better than them, they can be worse than them, but they've managed to take the limelight, leaving these behind. So the guys who are playing around with this right now are people like you, me, and a few other people hoping for this to go. And you won't believe this, I do have a target for this to go to at least $10. But that's me being extremely, extremely over bullish, right? $4 is more likely what I would be expecting, right? Let's try and see if I can find a good one. just use this, right? So $4 would be more to what I'm looking. If you can see here, this is my target, which is a $3.77, right? It's not like I don't have algo. I have algo, but I'm just being honest about the fact that algo's been left behind. Algo's been left behind. It's coming to its previous high, but that's about it. Is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to stay there? We don't know. But what we do know is algo has been left behind. And this is a common thing that happens in a lot of the projects. Like, okay, let me go back to Tamil, for example. He mentioned Kishu Inu, the Shiba killer. Fine, maybe it is. Maybe everybody that holds Shiba one day dump it and move on to Kishu. That's what happens. We have to accept that nothing is forever. So the coins will pump and dump, right? Continuously. Nothing says they have to stay there. There's no rules that, oh, we've got this coin, it has to stay there. There's absolutely no rules. I've mentioned about Bitcoin as well. I said there's no rules saying Bitcoin has to be this #1 coin here. Come on, guys. This is me. I'm being honest with you. I'm not going to be, I am a Bitcoin maxi who's being honest, saying Bitcoin doesn't have to stay in #1. There's no rules telling us that it has to stay #1. There's no rules telling us Ethereum can't be #2. And now there's no rules telling us Algorand can't be #1. There's no rules telling us. But what we do understand is marketing is key. A lot of these are based on hype cycles. Market pumps with people sentiment. Remember, we are the currency. All of these networks, we are the currency, not the money. Money comes secondary. If we are not emotionally happy or do not have positive sentiment, we do not buy. So you can see money is secondary. We are primary. So we are the primary currency of every single one of these 13,000 coins. If you're happy, you're going to go and buy. If you're not happy, you're not going to buy. So I can give you a good example today. Market's bloody. What do you think majority of the people did? They crapped their pants, put their big boy pants on, crapped themselves, and they exited. But people like me, I'm a bit excited because I'm like, if the market is still moving up, well, this is a great opportunity. Top up, top up, top up. Do you know what I mean? So I'm excited here, not because of fundamentals, not because of, I don't give a damn about any of these. There's going to be a time, for example, if there's an IDO or an ICO, I'll be looking for the fundamentals. I'll be looking for the facts. I'll be looking for the technology just to evaluate if there's going to be enough interest, if it's going to be a good entry for me or not. Simple. After that, I don't care, because there's always going to be something better. I'm not going to hold it for life. Remember the rules, guys. Pick your coin, stick to your coin, but don't marry it. Come on, you're in it for the money. Take the money and walk. You know what I mean? So I hope this kind of makes sense. Look, I'm just being really factual today because I think these are facts that we need to really, and these are fundamental facts that we need to accept. Nothing's there forever. Nothing says this is going to be here forever. Nothing says this is going to be here forever. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. There is no rule book telling us that it has to be #1. You know, I was looking at this yesterday, right? Hey KR, awesome, bro. I was looking at this yesterday, and Tesla is now #6. Facebook has been knocked down. There's no rules saying that Tesla can't be here or even come and compete with Apple. There's no rules. Nothing saying Apple can't be down here one day. There's no rules. That's important. That's what you have to understand, right? Some of them pump, some of them dump. It happens, you know. Something's going to take over. Tesla may not be the ultimate technology company out there. One day, something else, they might start making cars and come on top of Tesla. There's no rule book. Innovation cannot be stopped, right? But innovation can only succeed if there's enough marketing out there, if people know about it. If you decide to make something and not talk about it, there's nothing. I mean, we can do it. Listen, Well, how about this? We can do a crazy experiment on our community. Now, majority of us are in our group. We can do a social experiment on our own community, and I'll pay for the whole damn thing. I'll give you some for free. I'm going to create a coin. I'm going to dump a coin on the market. And I want you guys. So I'll give you everybody gets a free coin, right? I'll give you some free coins. I want to see what you guys can do. Now, I'm not going to do anything. So what will happen to the project? It's going to go down to the drain. I lose money, happy days. But if you guys go out there, text, message, Facebook, this, that, promote it, you could easily see 100x, 1000x. But the question is why did it happen? Did it happen because I launched it? Did it happen because I made all these promises? Does it happen because I made a fancy website? Does it happen because of that? Or does it happen because you marketed it? Ask yourself that question. So if you're not going to tell the world what you have, how is it going to work? I mean, it's like Bitcoin, the first time ever Bitcoin. What did he do? He went to Reddit and he just put the white paper there. That was it. Nothing else. No explanation, nothing, just a white paper. And look where it is today. And then you had, for example, a few years later, obviously, Ethereum comes along. They literally made a paper, a presentation. They made, what do they call them? Something deck, like, a business proposal deck, whatever they call it. I forgot. I know the name. I've made so many myself. Anyway, they make a deck. They go out there and they propose to businesses. They try to convince people, invest in us. This one just put something randomly on Reddit and left it there. It wasn't even Reddit. At that time it was 4chan. So they just left something on 4chan. That's it. Or Reddit or whatever. Anyway, but the point is that's it. Here we go. We have a whole new system because people read it. People said, okay, people were curious, but the marketing was there. People were marketing it. You, the currency, remember, we are the currency of this network. We marketed it. I still market it. I'm here for that, right? I'm here for crypto. I am the currency. On that note, guys, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please consider. Join the community. Come and talk to us on Discord. And as I said, if everyone wants, I'll launch something. Honestly, I'll launch something. Just for the sake of it, for a joke, I will launch something. Not an issue. I will launch a crypto. We'll design a website. Make it all whatever. I don't care. And I'm doing this publicly. Whatever the consequences will be, I will be the one to bear the consequences. And I'm happy to do that publicly. I don't give a damn. I'll be like, look, this is a social experiment done live on YouTube. Let's do it. And you can see the real facts. I've seen coins. I'm not even joking. I've seen coins that have zero use case. There's a good example. Look, come on, staring at our face. Nothing. But now people accept it as payment. People power. As people power. Here's a coin staring at our face. Started off with nothing. Now it has invested the money and has become something completely real. Crazy, right? Crazy. Here's a coin that didn't even have a coin to begin with, and then later on they created a coin. Brilliant. Brilliant. Here's a coin. The guy's been studying cryptography and Bitcoin and everything even before Bitcoin was created. And then they launched. Look at this. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. It's just one of those. But as I said to you guys, listen. People power. People power. We are the currency. On that note, guys, I'm not going to make this any longer. Like, share, subscribe. Forget the technicals. Forget everything. I don't think there's anything to show. All I can sell to you is when it hits that 0.6, I do have my sell. So my sell will activate. And I am going to get rid of another 50%. Well, my initial and some more, basically. That's the best way to explain this. I am taking that out. But other than that, market's not over. That's all I can say right now. This market is not over. This is just stupidity, a small correction. As long as it can hold this band, we're fine. the trend is still your friend, and the trend currently is still up. That's all I can say. Like, share, subscribe. Adios, my amigos. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Thank you for everybody for coming in. And remember, guys, keep your head on your shoulders. Keep your head on your shoulders. Look for the facts. Ask yourself the questions. Ask yourselves the most difficult, uncommon questions there is. I'm sure you'll find the answer before I do. Adios, my amigos.